I just interviewed one of your favorite players of all time, Dominque Wilkins.
Okay.
And there was a story that came out that you may not be familiar with. So Dominque actually grew up in Baltimore, but then he went to North Carolina when he was like 16, Washington, North Carolina. And what had happened was he was a superstar player in high school. And, in North Carolina, when you're a top player, they expect you to stay in North Carolina, like Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. But he went and decided to go to Georgia, play for the Bulldogs instead. And he said when that happened, when he made his announcement, all hell broke loose. They gave him F's on all his transcripts, all his report cards. They painted his mom's car black. Then they burned a cross in his front yard. You ever heard that before?
No.
They burned a cross on his front yard.
I would tell you this, in the 70s, if you were a great player in the state of North Carolina, you don't leave the ACC. That was almost against the law. You don't leave the ACC. And I was the first one to buck the system. I actually signed a letter of intent with North Carolina State. But at the last minute, I changed my mind because they were comparing me to be the next David Thompson and all this, and I didn't want to be compared to nobody. Well, that's part of it. But Georgia it was just the right placement because I went there with 5 other high school All-Americans, so we all went at the same time. So it wasn't like I went there by myself. But once I made that decision, all hell broke loose in the state of North Carolina. I got F's on my transcript, paint poured on my car, windows busted out of the house, theft threats, and a cross burning in my front yard.
Okay. And I was going to ask you about this part. Here you are, you're an 18-year-old kid, and you're minding your business, you're in your living room, and suddenly you see this huge light outside your window.
Yeah.
And as you open the curtain, it's a burning cross.
I didn't even open the curtain. I was like, I'm puzzled. Like, what is this big bright light? So I go out the front door, and as I get to the front yard, there's a big cross burning in my yard.
And then the final straw was he was like at a Walmart or something, and he came outside, and they said that he stole a cassette tape. And they had it all like set up right there, like on a flower pot right there. And he had like $3,000 in his pocket. He's like, I didn't steal nothing. They're like, well, you're getting arrested. And the cop that went and got him, I guess, was his cousin. And he basically said, listen, man, we need to just get your whole family up out of here. So they went to his house, they packed up everything, and they moved to Georgia, and he didn't go back for 30 years.
Crazy.
This is like the late 70s. I think it was like 79 or something. Do you see that type of crazy shit? I mean, are they still burning crosses down south? Certain parts?
Yeah, bro. Like Baton Rouge a couple weeks ago, they had banners. They had banners on the KKK had banners on the bridge.
Huh.
They were recruiting.
Recruiting for the KKK?
Yeah, they were recruiting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's serious down there, man. It's serious, bro. It's serious. Like, it's serious.
Yeah?
It's serious.
What do you think is the most racist state that you've been in?
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
Those three, all mushed together.
All in the line, right there.
All in the line
Louisiana,
right there.
Mississippi, Alabama. You get caught on them back roads, it's a good chance you won't make it out.
Yeah, that's a fucked up story. I mean, you know the whole Mississippi burning story, where there was a black kid and a Jewish kid that both got killed.
Yeah.
They sent the mafia down there to go fuck with the KKK people, torture them and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it was a crazy story when I heard it, because you would think that by the late 70s, shit like that wasn't happening, but nah.
Nah, man, they was
Full-blown
still
cross.
hanging. They was still hanging people in Mobile, Alabama. They was, and this 82, 83. They was hanging motherfuckers in Mobile, Alabama. They hung a dude from the tree in 82. Hung him from the tree.
Fuck. Oh man. Well, I'm glad I live in California.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't get as bad out here.
Yeah. This was where all the rich people came for the gold.
Right. Gold rush.